It's Thursday, April 8th. I'm Mike Rogers, and this is Comic Book Steals and Deals. Over at Eastside Comics today, they have the Miles Morales 25. They're doing a clone saga, so not really original, but we'll see what comes of it. Some really good looking covers. This Miles Morales number 25 is the Mike Mayhew. I love this cover. It's really good looking, classic. $25 for the trade, $60 for the set. The 1 in 25 is also available for number 25, the Miles Morales. It's done by SARA Pichelli. They have that for $24. They have the 1 in 50 done by Dan Hipp for $54. Golden Apple today. They have a Heroes Reborn section done by Verajay. Verajay did the Native American Heritage Month covers that we all purchased. I bought about a bunch of them. He is doing the Heroes Reborn. Now, Heroes Reborn is a 7-part series. It's going to be about the Squadron Supreme. Basically, an alternate universe story where the Squadron Supreme is as popular as the Avengers, and the Avengers come into that universe. So it's basically like if the Avengers were the Avengers and the Squadron Supreme came into their universe, just because we haven't seen that much of them. But looks really good. It's written by Jason Aaron. We have Aaron Cooter and of course just Jeffrey Verajay on this. The only thing is the price on these. So number 1 is $130, and then 2 through 7 are $110. So maybe try to find these for a better price. I don't know, or maybe invest in these. These aren't something you pick up. This is more of an investment at $110 and $130. But they're very interesting covers. Frankie's Comics today. They have the sold out haha number 4 by Instagram artist, and we shouldn't call him Instagram artist anymore. Ultra Raw. He was discovered on Instagram about a year ago with the Transformers Terminator. Was it Transformers Terminator? Yeah, Transformers Terminator crossover. He did a cover for that, basically launched his career. He's doing this haha. It already sold out at Golden Apple. They got it at Frankie's over there for $20. I already have picked it up actually. They also have the Kale New Miles Morales 25, the Clone Wars. This is a wrestling cover. And the cool thing I like about this is the character in the middle. Of course, it's a beautiful cover done by Kale New, but the Clone War character in the middle who's wrestling is really cool looking. $20 for the trade, $45 for the Virgin variant. I'll try to fit that in the thumbnail today. Amorphous Ink today. They have Ice Cream Man number 24. This is the Zoe Leche that was basically available about a week ago at Amorphous Ink. Sold out. This is the con variant. It's a little bit of a difference. There's some blue in it. Very interesting. I bought it. $44.95. Um, over at Ultimate Limits Outer Limit Burrow today. They have such an incredible selection of books. I just wrote warning. Warning. Going to Outer Limit Burrow today is going to be extremely expensive for you. They have Something's Killing the Children going all over the place. They've just put up every book that you could possibly want right now is available at Outer Limits Burrow in one little section. I was going to list them all, but I knew when I linked it below that I'm just going to do the whole section. So just be careful of Outer Limits Burrow today. The link is below. There's no way to walk in there and not spend a ton of money. They have almost every Something's Killing the Children I've ever seen is available right now. You've got CGCs. There were other titles on there. I'm trying to think of some of the other titles, but it was just Something's Killing the Children. I was like, whoa, 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 I'll come back to this. I can't deal. Overload. So I just wrote warning. Go check it out. Over to Unknown Comics today. They have the Venom 35. This is the 200th issue. This is the Mastrozaro. It's got that purple background to it. It was in the thumbnail yesterday. 15 for the trade, 35 for the Virgin variant. They also have the Silk Ji Hung Lee, the Virgin variant, the 1 in 100 that everybody's been looking for. $150. Gonna want to try to get that at 100, 110, if less, if possible. 75 would be great. They also have Silk the Rose Bash at $70, but we know if you go to Westfield Comics, we can get that book for like 50. So know that. Westfield Comics, I'll try to remember to put it in below, but it's the only Westfield Comics online. They also have the Women of Marvel number 1. This is that Rogue cover by Han. Han. $10 for the trade. $30 for the Virgin variant. Thing is freaking gorgeous. If you're a Rogue fan, you're going to have to own it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful freaking cover. It's the Women of Marvel number 1. Just another beautiful cover for that series. Big Time Collectibles has the Alex Garner Clone Wars number 25 Miles Morales, 3,000 for the trade, 1,000 for the Virgin variant. I wasn't crazy about this book. It's basically like a split cover. Wasn't insane about this over at Big Time Collectibles today. It's going to be available, I'm sorry, Friday, 4/9 at 2 p.m. Central. That'll be 3 p.m. Eastern. Hive Comics has Department of Truth number 9, which is going to be available on Saturday. I messed up and said this was going to be available like on Wednesday, but it's going to be available on Saturday. It is freaking crazy. If you go to Hive Comics, and you know they get those flippy things up top where you're like, oh, nice. You know, this is comic coming, this comics. It's the second one. You'll see the cover and you'll be like, I must own this. So that's going to be available at Saturday at Hive. I'm not sure of the time, so just keep your ears open. I'll try to remind you guys tomorrow. Over at Behemoth Comics. Now, Behemoth Comics they're a publisher, and I in the past have said that, like, you know, Scout Comics, and there's certain publishers that I just don't report on because they haven't. You need to do something. You got to prove that you're ready to play with Image and Marvel and DC for people to get really serious about it, or you're just buying variants that aren't going to go anywhere and are going to be useless in a month. So Behemoth is showing a lot of promise. The titles that they have right now is they've got one that was sold out before it even, I don't know if it's been on wide release. This was available through their website and is completely sold out, and it sounds wicked cool. It's called Osaka Mime. Osaka Mime, M-I-M-E. Murder happens in a Japanese town. I think it was, I don't even want, Osaka, I think, Japan. I'm not sure about that. And it brings in a paranormal unit to figure out what's going on. So this is a 76-page black and white story about a paranormal unit in Japan trying to discover a murder, and it has paranormal things attached to it. So all I'm thinking is I'm thinking of Japanese horror movies and Japanese detective movies, and you whack those two together, and you've got gold. So and it's already sold out. I've never even heard of this title before. Osaka Mime. I'm gonna look for it other places. Hopefully it's sold out because other stores were buying it so that they could have it. It doesn't come out till May 2021, so I'm gonna keep my eye on it. This one looks, and the cover's gorgeous. That one's probably gonna be on the thumbnail today because it's so cool. They also have MFKZ number 1, $5.99. This is already a Netflix movie or a Netflix distributed movie. They have the A, the B, the C, the limited, and the incentive cover, all very inexpensive. You Promised Me Darkness is one of the Behemoth titles. They have number 1 and number 2 over there. And I never really read the title for this, so let me read this out to you. Or I read the description. You Promised Me Darkness is about two brothers born during Halley's Comet. Now, people who are in this universe, people who are born during Halley's Comet have powers. They're granted powers, and they have an aura about them. Like a special aura about them that if you had those powers, you would recognize somebody like that. But they're positive powers, and then there's the negative force people as well. And those negative force people feed off the good people's auras and probably make them bad. You would imagine, like making more bad people, kind of like vampires in a way. But they feed off their supernatural auras. So that looks really promising. You Promised Me Darkness it's out there. It's one it's big. It's going to be a big launch when it finally. I don't know if the first one came out yet, but that one's going to be big. The story sounds interesting. It's just Behemoth Comics that's one that I'm like, I'm cool with them. That's when I can buy their stuff because I think they have a future. Stadium Comics has the Heroes of, this is the only place that has this that I've seen so far. Heroes of Asian, I think it's like Heroes of Superior Asian, I don't even know what it is. Heroes of Asian, Superior Asian, Heroes of Asian Superheroes. I don't know. But what they have on the cover is a really good looking, basically like a Batgirl if she was from Japan. And I hope that's not too specific. But they Asian Batwoman, but I don't know. Number one, $8.99. Beautiful art germ Lau cover. Beautiful. They also have the Batman 108. Now over at Stadium, they have two covers that are exclusive to Stadium Comics, and I have not seen these anywhere else. One is Miracle Molly 108, the Miracle Molly cover, and this is supposed to be like the animated series, so it's got a blocky kind of look to it. And then they have Batman, this negative space cover that you can only buy, I'm pretty sure, with the Miracle Molly. Maybe you can get them separate, but this book is nowhere. This is a Batman 108. It's a negative space variant with a Batman cover. This is like a regular Batman cover with negative space on it. This is going to be one of those books that people are going to be like, where the hell did this come from? Because it's only at Stadium Comics. It's one of their exclusives. Something about Stadium Comics, their exclusives don't really make it out of Stadium Comics. Wrath of Comics. Wrath of Comics is one of our sponsors. We use CBSD10 over at Wrath of Comics. Get 10% off our order every day. At Wrath of Comics today, they have Kanto, the first series. Now, if I was going to bet on one series this year, it'd be Kanto. Kanto has already been purchased from what I believe is Will Smith's production company. It's going to get made into something. This is going to be a animated thing that you watch on a screen. I got a lot of faith in this. What they have at Wrath right now are basically the second prints of 1, 2, and 3. So the second print of 1 is $74.95. The second print of 2 is $19.95. Is that right? I believe so. Number 2, that might be. Let me do this. Number 1, the second print is $74.95. Number 3, the second print is $59.95. Number 3, the first print, $14.95. There's a $40 difference there. And then number 2, the second print is $19.95. Which doesn't sound right. That might be the first print. I believe that's the first print on number 2, because the second prints are, they're less printed than the first print, so there are less of them. Now, back in the day, you always wanted the first print. The first print was the rarest. Now, people want the second and the third prints. It hasn't changed. There were still, back in the day, they were still printing less in that second and third print run, but people didn't care. They wanted that first print. That was the one they wanted. Now, people are like, well, wait a second. If there are less printed of the second and third print, that makes that they are more rare, and that's what I want. I want the rarest. Driving up the prices of the second prints. I'm not saying that you should go out and buy these titles here, although Wrath is one of our sponsors, and I love Wrath of Comics. I'm just saying, be aware of that. Be aware that your second and third prints these days on popular titles are more expensive than the first prints, because if they are shorter print runs, then they're more rare. And rarity is everything these days. It used to be the first. Now it's the rarest. So, and that's why we have things like, I won't even get into it. Just so you know. And I'm going to point out another example of that over at Wrath of Comics. Wrath of Comics is also one of our sponsors. We use steals and deals at Wrath of Comics. Get 15% off our order every day. Just put out and steals and Andy deals. So, over at Marvelous, they have their new releases section, and it really hasn't been picked over because it's a brand new section. They've got Avengers number 44, the Momoko She-Hulk, cool looking, $3.99. Department of Truth number 5, the second print, it's $3.99. That's nothing. It's brand new. You can go out and grab it. Might want to think about getting those second prints on hot series like Department of Truth. Demon Days, X-Men, number 1, Peach Momoko, second print, $4.99. Not crazy about this cover, but if this series looks like it's got legs forever. There's already 2 spin-off series from this, and I've only read 1 issue. There's 1 issue, and there's already 2 spin-off series. So this thing is, Peach Momoko seems to be leading this sort of a Japanese storytelling arc of all of Marvel. So they're giving her all of Marvel and being like, tell a Japanese story with this. And she's doing it, and it's beautiful, and I love it. You know how I feel about Peach Momoko. Demon Days #1, the second print, $4.99. Not crazy about the cover, but again, these things, like I was saying, they have Geiger #1, the A, the B, the C, and the D all at $3.99. Those are just selling out everywhere. Big series. They have Maniacs in New York #1, the second print. Now, I don't know if this series has legs. It was one of those things that everybody jumped on. It was like, ooh, Maniacs in New York. Look at the cover. He's got the ski mask. And he's got a bloody knife. Ooh, it sounded really cool. I don't know where this is going. Do you need the second print on this one? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's $4.99 if you do want to pick it up. Finally, Radiant Black #1, the second print. That one I would recommend grabbing. I've seen it sold out elsewhere. I haven't seen it many places elsewhere. It's a very cool comic. If you ever read Nexus, going way back, old Dark Horse title, this cover reminds me of Nexus, and I want to buy it just because it reminds me of Nexus. I love Nexus. Nexus was the wackiest. I recommend Nexus to anyone who is a comic book reader who hasn't read Nexus. Go pick up some Nexus. There's some awesome, awesome characters in there. Great space chicanery, and there's serious stuff because he's like, Nexus is a real superhero, and he looks like kind of like Cyclops. He's got like the band thing going, and he's very action orientated. But the people around him are the characters. The supporting cast is fantastic. The whole thing is fantastic. The artwork's fantastic. Love it. But yeah, that reminds me of that. Sorry, I went on a tangent. So last night we did the community auction. It's basically the Wednesday night community auction. I sell my books on Saturday and Sunday nights, and then on Wednesday, basically, I just host people who want to sell books. Host people who, and it's not that I have a giant audience. It's the same people that I have. They literally are the same people every time. It's just giving people an opportunity to sell their books in a place that's not intimidating. And the idea was to keep it to the patrons. It would be the patron, and we're going to have to get back to that at some point. But in building it, I didn't really want to just keep it to patrons. I was like, if somebody's watching this and wants to bid, come on the thing. We'll just put you in the lineup. I signed up for the full StreamYard, so we can do up to like 10 people or something. I don't think we want to do that, but we could. So yeah, we're good to go on that front. And then tonight, I don't know what we're doing tonight. I didn't get any mail, which doesn't make any sense. Sometimes I think they just let it build up at the post office and then they bring it in like just boxes everywhere. But I mean, we have a lot of books here that we really haven't looked at. So if I can figure out some content to throw together for you guys tonight, I will be up at 9:15. I'll be doing something in around 9:15. But if I can't come up with anything to do for you guys, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably come up with something around 9 o'clock. I'll be like, I should be doing something. What am I supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be talking at the computer. That's right. So that's all I got for you right now. Definitely hit that notification bell if you haven't, just because I'm a little bit all over the place. We're doing StreamYard now, so they look seamless to you, but it kind of will, getting everybody set up, it'll screw up the time. So if you haven't hit that notification bell, definitely hit that notification bell. And if I can get something tonight together, some content for you guys, maybe we could do I don't even want to say it. You know what I mean? We could do those other things that Darth was looking to do. Let me see if I can get myself organized enough to do that tonight. But let me see if I can get something together. I'll throw up a reminder. If you got the notifications on, you'll get it. That's the easiest way to do it for me. I apologize. It's just the way I am. But yeah, that's all I got for you now. Hopefully I'll talk to you later. But if not, well, I'll talk to you later.